Hello everyone, welcome to the 12 days of Christmas. Christmas has always been my absolute favorite time of year. Although it doesn't really get cold here that often, I still enjoy it because it's a time for family to get together. Let's get into what you'll need to follow along. Of course, you're going to need a pencil, eraser, watercolor paper, watercolor paint, a brush. For watercolor paper, I'm using 100% cotton cold pressed paper, and I am cutting them to postcard size. For paints, I'm using Holbein artist grade watercolor paints. Throughout each video, I will be labeling what paint I'm using at that time. For a paintbrush, I'm just using a small round. This is a number 4. Of course, you also need 2 cups of water, one for clean and one for dirty. Optional is paper tape and a clipboard. Additionally, I will be putting all the outlines on Patreon for download. So if you want to support me, you can go over to my Patreon and sign up as a member. Then you'll get all the outlines at the same time as the video comes out. All right, thank you so much. Let's get into painting. Hello everyone, welcome to day 9 of the 12 days of Christmas. If you're new here, I'm doing 12 paintings for 12 days from December 14th to December 25th. And today we are on our 9th painting, day 9. When you look at the sketch, you think, what are we painting? Well, we're going to give ourselves a challenge and paint bouquet style Christmas tree. Okay, and what's really gonna sell it is the contrast, the strong contrast between dark and light. So I have these lines here, and that's telling me, okay, so that's where I want to put the circles. But a lot of it is really just going to be lifting out the color. For our lights, we're going to be using yellow, red, green, and maybe a little bit of blue. So let's start by activating our yellow. So for now, we just want to do a really light watery wash. This is kind of just the underpainting. And I'm going to just make some circles for where the lights should be. Okay, let's grab red. Let's grab some green, also very watery green, okay, as these are Christmas lights after all. Okay, this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. We're going to activate our Prussian blue, which is the dark blue, and that's going to be our night sky. Let's, we need a lot of it, so let's add a lot of water. Really get as much as we need. So we're going to start doing just a graded wash down, and at the same time we're going to try to leave out those Christmas lights. We'll kind of paint around it. See, immediately it starts to bleed, so we're going to have to move very fast. First, let's just paint dark wash over everything. Kind of make the circles around. Then we also want to paint into the circle every once in a while. So right now you may be thinking, oh no, it's a disaster. It's all blending into each other, and how am I going to create that painting effect? Don't worry, we'll get it, but you have to move fast. All right, I'm trying to paint around those circles we made, and also trying to move as fast as possible. Okay, now let's just take some clear water and get the whole surface wet. There we go. Okay, so now is the time to lift. Clean off your brush. Just lift that blue out. Just like we did with the Christmas gnome. You know, you have some reference to where you've made circles before because of the paint that we've put down. But you can also make new ones. All right, so we were able to get some of that out. Now let's add in our color back. I have a blue one, I have a yellow one here. Let's grab some red. Grab some green, make sure it's really light green. More yellow. There's one right here. Okay, let's just drop in some water, clear water, because that will also help us spread the paint out. And later we can add some more circles there. See that, how it spreads a little bit? Probably too much water here. Okay, so it kind of looks like a complete mess, but we're gonna wait for this to dry. Go in with another dark layer of blue and start to kind of clean it up. But you can see that the bouquet look is already coming to life. Okay, it is dry to the touch. You know, it actually looks really beautiful. I've also taken the time to erase out those pencil lines. So we want to make the sky just a tiny bit darker, and we want to add in a bit more lights, especially down here. Let's start by putting in those lights. So just wherever you feel like. We're using a really watery wash because, you know, those lights are overlapping each other. Can make some darker and some lighter, but generally they should be quite transparent. Okay, I think that looks really nice. So now going in with our dark, really want it to be like this, saturated at the very top. And I'm just slowly moving down the paper. So I'm gonna try to, this is supposed to be like the Christmas star at the top. Leave that out. And then as we move on here, also try to leave some of those out. Okay, move fast, as fast as you can. And I think from here we'll just let it fade to the paper. I'm just using water. Okay, but we don't want those edges to be so sharp. So I'm gonna smooth it out. water. Lift it so that it kind of falls downward. And let's see here. Kind of blend it out a bit. Okay, I do think this looks nice, but I think we want to get some sharp lights back. So let me see if I can paint yellow here. Just a few. We want them to be a little bit sharper. Red. Red in the middle here. One down here might look nice. I think no for green, but yes for more yellow up here. That really clear. All right, I think that is all for this painting. Kind of experimental, as I actually have never tried to do an entire painting with the full bokeh effect. I do think if you painted another layer, you could get it a little bit darker and maybe a bit more smooth, but I'm okay and happy with how it is now. So play around and try it out for yourself. And we're done for day 9.